this is Sebastian for the Metal Gods Meltdown, and this evening I'm joined by
Mark Garrett.
First up, I want to congratulate you on your soon-to-be released album, Liminal Right. How excited are you now, being a few days away, man?
Pretty excited. Kind of nervous. The full live stream goes up tonight, so people will hear it in 4 hours. So a little nervous, but pretty good overall.
All right, man. So you're going to be there watching it when it's streaming up. Obviously, you're going to be sat there like watching, yeah.
Yeah. Me and the rest of the bandmates will be there. Yeah.
Crazy world we live in.
I know.
Okay, so the idea behind the album deals with an old man whose existence is slowly diverging from reality. Sounds like my life. You can really feel the passion and intensity on the album. It's an album that really needs to be played from the start to the finish, doesn't it? Do you not think?
Yeah, I mean, we've tried to write it in such a way where you could pull songs out and listen to them individually like singles, but it really does have the intention of at least once being listened to start to finish without interruption.
You are signed to the mighty Metalblade, who are amazing.
Yes.
That must have been so humbling when you got signed to them.
Yeah, it was not expected, and it was a huge opportunity. We've already seen a lot of benefits. Our listeners have grown by a lot, and they've been great to work with so far.
Excellent, man. It is a total smorgasbord of different sounds, even saxophone and pianos. Death Gaze is the future of metal. Do you think? Fair comment?
Oh, I don't know. I think that we and bands who kind of sound similar to, and that we sound similar to them, I think that maybe we're gaining a little bit more popularity for sure. But I hope that metal continues to be very diverse across all genres.
Yeah, mate. Your vocals are insane, and like, where does that come from? And the way you change and everything is just so, I don't know. There's no words for it.
A lot of hard work, a lot of practice, really just trying to be as genuine as possible while, also staying critical but kind to myself. When I write a lot of my singing, the songs are already done, and so I have a really good emotional landscape to build on because Nico and Alex and Sean, they write amazing music. So I sit there and I just kind of vibe and I hum along. And
how do you prepare your voice? And is it difficult after you've done like a live show and that you have to rest? Do you not talk to anyone for an hour or so?
So generally, I deal with a lot of really strong acid reflux, and that gets in the way of my singing voice a lot. So if I'm going to be tracking or if I'm going to do any type of performance at all, I really avoid alcohol, caffeine, chocolate, spicy foods. I drink lots of alkaline water. I get good sleep. I'm usually kind of sitting up, and it's been a long time since I felt strained after a long recording session. A couple of the sessions for recording vocals on Liminal Right took about 6 hours, and I didn't feel strained, but I certainly stayed quiet and relaxed my voice and sort of cooled down a little bit to help it sort of return to normal, help me, shift those mental gears from, just speaking to or from belting and growling just back to healthy speaking.
Man, it's absolutely insane. So when did you first realize you had such a gift, and when did you first get into metal?
I mean, for me, I feel like I still have so much to learn. I feel like I have so far to go. Like a couple spots on this new album, I'm definitely straining a little bit for some high notes, or I let some of the cadence and some of the metering get away from me. I don't know. I've really received a lot of I've been lucky enough to have very encouraging people with me throughout my life, whether they're people in my personal life or fans. People have always been very encouraging, and even back when I wasn't as comfortable with my voice, people were cheering me on. So I think it's really a result of that, a lot of positive reinforcement and people believing in me.
Absolutely, man. So what does the rest of the year hold for you guys? Are you going to head out on tour, and are you hopeful to get over to the UK, Europe even?
Yeah, no tours or festivals that we're aware of now. In our current life situations, we really don't have the room to go on tour. I've got a kid on the way. Our drummer has 3 kids and lives in Canada. Our bassist is in another band called Holy Fawn, and they tour a lot, so we can only do so much time off work. If we get offered the tour or the festival of a lifetime, we'll probably take it, but that's unlikely to happen. So I think we're just going to be interacting with fans a lot. I think we're going to be focusing on a lot of thank yous, a lot of merch, and just kind of riding it out. And eventually, when we feel ready, working on the next album.
Brilliant. Okay, then, so can I ask you about the band's name? Why did you
Sure.
choose that? And what others did you have?
So that was really the only idea. There weren't a lot of other names in the running, but essentially when we started, it was in, oh goodness, what was it? 2009, 2010, I can't remember exactly. And at that time, space metal was really, really popular. Spacey genty metal was really popular, and a lot of it was very like dark and morose, like aliens destroying the world, or things like that. Or it was like super, super, super philosophical to the point where you didn't really know what they were talking about. Um, and so we said, well, what if we took the sci-fi angle, but made it hopeful and made it positive, and said, maybe humanity can be better. And so the name Kardashev is based on, well, it is the last name of a theoretical physicist in Russia who basically created this scale for measuring a society's advancement through metrics of their energy usage and their power consumption and their efficiency. Not everything we write about has anything to do with sci-fi. Like, this album is not a sci-fi album at all. It doesn't tie into that in any way. But we've kept the name because we still do revisit those concepts from time to time.
Mate. So have you already, I know this album's not even out yet, but have you already started getting ideas for the new album then? Is that already formulating?
A little bit. Nico has been writing just some basic riffs and some basic sections. I've, put some very casual, loose vocal tracks down, but I imagine that once we feel like mentally, emotionally ready to write a whole nother album, we'll probably sort of take it to the drawing board and try to keep it a little bit more organized rather than just like, hey, I wrote a riff 15 minutes ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Okay, so is there a song written by someone else that you wish you had written?
Yes, there is. That is so interesting that you say that, because I literally had this thought a while ago. So the band name is actually in Russian, but it's a band called RAWKS, I think it's called. I'll put a screenshot of it in the chat for you so you can see it. And I literally we're moving, my wife and I are moving soon. And I literally was like, man, I sure wish that we had written this song. What's the song called? I don't know, because I can't read Russian. But the band name is pronounced RAWKS, which means rye, like rye grain. And however you read that song title, I don't know. I think another good one would be probably anything off of Alcest's album Le Voyage de l'Homme, but we'll never be that good. So
not yet, but one day we'll be. Never.
Maybe.
Okay then. So what would you say has been Kardashev's biggest accomplishments?
Oh, so goodness. Essentially, our biggest accomplishment, that's difficult. I think it might be this. I think it might be the release of Liminal Right. This is the first big release we have on a major record label. And I really think that wherever our career goes, this is going to be a really, really deciding moment. So I guess my answer is pending, because we might be doing the biggest achievement right now. It's hard to say,
For a musical instrument, what would you be?
If I was a musical instrument, what would I be? Oh goodness. I think I would specifically be. I would probably very specifically be like Josh Groban's voice, his vocal cords, because his voice is amazing. His voice is beautiful. He takes care of it. So I'm not going to be an instrument that gets dusty or dinged up in a closet. So yeah, Josh Groban's larynx would be my choice.
Excellent. Okay, so then if you were king for a day, what would you change?
Oh my Lord. Do we want like a serious answer or do we want a funny answer?
Let's have a funny answer. Yeah.
Let's go with a funny one. Okay, let's go with a funny one then to not bring down the mood too much. Everybody legally would be required to try a food that they've refused to try up through their life one time per year. And if they don't like it after that, that's totally fine. But if they've never tried it and they say they don't like it, as long as they're not allergic to it, because we don't want any health issues, they have to. You think you don't like sushi, but you have no excuse, you got to eat a piece. And then if after that you don't like it, okay, that's fine.
Funny you say sushi. I can't stand sushi, so there you go.
Have you tried it? Have you tried it?
Yes, I have. It's not for me.
Okay, then you're good. Then you're good.
It's not for me. Okay, you give me 4 words to describe Kardashev.
Oh gosh. Big, because the sounds are very big and soundscapey. Ambient, aggressive, sorrowful, hopeful. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Okay, thank you so much for your time this evening. I bet you can't wait for in a few hours' time then when the stream goes live. I'm gonna have to stay up for this, I think. Then I was gonna go to bed, but I'm gonna stay up. Do you have any final words for your fans and our viewers and listeners?
Just thank you everybody who gives the album some time. We have some fans who have been with us for a very long time since the release of our very first demo way back when. So thank you to them, and thank you even if somebody doesn't really like it, but if just like the food, if they give it an honest try, and even after that they don't like it, I at least appreciate them giving it an honest go. So yeah, thank you everybody for giving us some of the time out of your life.